can't go bankrupt because we can print our own money.
It obviously begs the question, why exactly are we borrowing in a currency that we print ourselves? I'm waiting for someone to stand up and say, why do we borrow our own currency in the first place?
Like you said, they print the dollar, so why does the government even borrow?
Well, again, some of this stuff gets, some of the language and concepts are just confusing. I mean, the government definitely prints money, and it definitely lends that money, which is why the government definitely prints money, and then it lends that money by selling bonds.
They have AI and software bots that track you and follow you and learn from you and try and influence what you do because they're trying to extract some kind of value from you. And literally, think of, being attacked by a swarm of bees. We're surrounded now by a swarm of AI software bots, all trying to learn from us, extract something from us, or get us to do something. Now, we can start literally to enforce rules. They do now. So
what are the manifestations of this that maybe we're not paying attention to or don't perceive for what they are?
So look at what they did to the Canadian truckers. We don't like what you're doing. We cut off your money, and we cut off your friends' money. And if people help you, we cut off their money too. Ultimately, the one power currently under the Constitution in the United States that can stop this, the powers not delegated to the federal government by the states are reserved to the states. In other words, the states are technically more powerful than the federal government. And under the Constitution, they have the power to override the federal government on many different issues. And so one of the tensions we see in America is more and more there is a debate between the feds and the states about who has what powers. Sir James Goldsmith came to the United States in 1994, and he did an interview with Charlie Rose, and he described why we should never approve the Uruguay round of GATT and institute the WTO. And he, to this day, he nailed it perfectly.
If you could summarize his argument, what would it be?
He said, we are going to hollow out the middle class in the West, and we are going to devastate our culture. All to make
culture?
Money. Yes, our culture. We're going to devastate our culture, and we're going to devastate the quality of the food supply.
He said that?
Yes. So,
were you still working for the federal government in 94?
My company was the lead financial advisor for the Department of Housing and Urban Development. And I was trying to clean up the mortgage corruption. And what I ran smack into is that they were clearly and intentionally setting up the infrastructure to dramatically increase mortgage fraud. Intentionally. Mortgage fraud is a public-private partnership between the New York Fed member banks and the federal government. If you look at the group of people who meet through the BIS,
what's that?
The BIS is the Bank of International Settlements, and it's the central bank of central banks.
Where is that located?
It's in Basel, Switzerland, and it has 63 of the most powerful central banks as its members, and the New York Fed and the Fed are both shareholders. They became shareholders in 1994.
In one sentence, what's the purpose of the Bank of International Settlements?
Okay, so there are two things you need to know about the Bank of International Settlements.
I'm not sure my brain's big enough for this, but keep going.
It is.
Okay.
It has sovereign immunity.
What does that mean?
It's above the law.
It's its own country.
Right. It's its own country. It has its own police force. And essentially, other than one of its staff being in a car accident or, minor things, no one has the legal authority to move against it. Okay. It has sovereign immunity. That's number one. Number two, it can move money and hold it on its on its balance sheet and manage money secretly. So if I want to, I'm grossly oversimplifying, if I want to steal $21 trillion from the U.S. government and park it on the balance sheet of the BIS, it can move it anywhere in the world and it can keep it on its balance sheet secretly.
Is that what they do? They sell bonds. Yeah, they sell bonds, right? Because they sell bonds and people buy the bonds and lend them the money. Yeah. So a lot of times, at least to my ear with MMT, the language and the concepts can be kind of unnecessarily confusing, but there is no question that the government prints money and then it uses that money to, they print money and they use that money to, they sell bonds, they borrow. I guess I can't really talk. I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about. Like, because it's like the government clearly prints money. It does it all the time, and it clearly borrows. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this debt and deficit conversation. So I don't think there's anything confusing there.
You get the sense, if you're just a sort of aware person, that there is a concerted attempt by governments around the world to digitize commerce and to digitize currency and to basically control people through money.
Correct.
That's correct.